To Vienna Odyssey began from Portland International Airport, June 27, 1972. Family and well-wishers bid the Spartans bon voyage with reminders to write home. Leaving Portland, we land in New York City and board Pan Am 747 to London over the polar route. Before boarding, each member enjoyed observing the body search. Tom and Bonnie Rolfe's intrepid chaperones somewhere over the North Atlantic. After crossing the English Channel, the American contingent set foot on European soil in Frankfurt, Germany. Tim and Barb departed tour bus. Hurry and wait became a common saying. Oh, we were so young. Our first stop was in Rudesheim, Germany. The Gutmans and Iwasakis found time to shop around. Barbara, Alan, and Bonnie's sending postcards back home already. Tom already in trouble with the local police. Shopping and exploring downtown Rudesheim's narrow streets. We boarded our tour buses where we see Reese and Rick enjoying the German countryside, Richard dreaming of home and his TV. Your passport photo isn't that bad, Rusty. Evelyn and Webb somewhere inside France. I know I saw an ace in here somewhere. We ate a delicious lunch at Verdun. Carl, once again, counting heads. Carl, should we tip Pierre? Asked Cindy. Our own Debbie Baker. The railway station in the center of Paris, across from our hotel. Bonnie on our hotel balcony before dinner. The famous Eiffel Tower and fountain. One of the many stops we've made on our Paris tour. Debbie and Teresa with their chaperone. West German Chancellor Willy Brandt and his cavalcade passed in front of our buses. One of the many guards along the dignitaries' route. Fritz, one of our bus drivers, and one of the many fountains we saw. And more sightseeing. Our first view of the beautiful Notre Dame Cathedral from our bus. 2 weddings were in progress while we toured the church. One of the many sculptures outside. a front view of Notre Dame from across the Seine River. We saw many stained glass windows inside. Mary and the Christ Child. A view of the Notre Dame interior. Notre Dame in the evening. A famous Paris traffic jam near the train depot. Is there no driver education here? Just squeeze the trigger, Rich. Here we see Bonnie spending Tom's hard-earned francs. One of the many churches found at the end of Parisian streets. Lost on the subway in Paris July 1st, Glenn ponders which strasse to get off. Evelyn Taylor finds herself in yet another picture. Band members and chaperones boarding the bus in front of our Hotel Francais. Excuse me, sir, we're new here. How much is that U.S. in currency? The Opera House. The Concarde Fountain. Evie and Lars discuss plans for that evening as Jeannie passes by. Lars, that's not the way back to the hotel that I remember. The Arch of Triumph, where Hitler's Nazi troops marched through during World War II. The Temple of Madeline. John shares with Evie and Clark how bad the water tastes. The Dome of Invalides. A breathtaking panorama view of Paris from the upper level of the Eiffel Tower. Nancy Poinkowski. Tim looks on as Terry remarks, "Now, Art, I've told you over and over again not to worry about the nursery." A beautiful ceiling painting at the Palace of Versailles. Mr. Rolfs, where's the nearest Wasser closet? The Versailles Pond and grounds. More of the Versailles tour. The popular Tom Monument, and Barb again. Oh, now show me your teeth, Webb. The police wagon in Paris. We better take account. The famous Montmartre Hill. The cathedral at the top of the hill. Inside the enormous Louvre Museum of Art. Bonnie and her students Debbie, Teresa, and Matt enjoy the art treasures. Bonnie hesitating to look up at David. Another cathedral in Paris. It seems you guys have your days and nights turned around. The Reims Cathedral in France. Here we find Bonnie washing a few things out back in her Rudesheim hostel. And it's back on the bus again. We celebrated the 4th of July on the Rhine River cruise. These chaperones look puzzled. Say, Tom, why don't the other chaperones ever sit with us? A winning smile, Barb. Debbie, Doug, and Annie Argus, alias Brenda Holman. A typical Rhine River scene. There seemed to be a castle around every turn. We photographed many castles and terraces. A castle built in the river. And Brenda and Bonnie after the cruise. Half of us spent one night at a Catholic retreat in Bad Zwischenahn in northern Germany, and the other half had stayed in homestays. A rear view of the retreat and a Bad Zwischenahn windmill. We visited a 16th century church while in northern Germany, where we see Barb, Lorraine, Bonnie, and Terry in front of the old church. The cemetery takes up much of the space of European churchyards. We all got to see the inside of the church. Here we find the band dressed and eager for an early morning concert. the band setting up at the German school. The Spartans performed well in front of the student body. A Fraulein, teacher, enjoys the American sound. Bonnie with her elbow to the grindstone. An outdoor concert. Many came to listen, and some stayed for the evening church performance. We took time to visit a Volkswagen factory in Holland. This was the second largest Volkswagen factory in the world. A small town scene viewed from the bus. Many of us got off the bus to pick up shells off the beach by the North Sea. Waiting for another concert. Our well-received band in Wilhelmshaven. The appreciative crowd. And Carl pointing out to our hostess that a new shipment of Lady Gillette shavers has just recently arrived from America. Marching in downtown Yaver with an escort. Bonnie Baton leads the band to City Hall. The Yaver City Hall concert attracted many citizens from the parade route, a band's eye view. Here was our first glimpse of West Berlin's World War II damage. We all held our breath as we traveled through the point of no return at Checkpoint Charlie. The historical Brandenburg Gate near Adolf Hitler's bunker. The burnt-out area of the Reichstag. And more bombed-out areas. A communist memorial cemetery and memorial plaque. Our emotional East Berlin guide. A monument to Lenin and the depressing Berlin Wall. A gate that has been blocked off, and we saw many wreaths that showed where escaped victims had fallen. A bombed-out block amongst new buildings. Busting through war debris. Here we see no man's land and vehicle traps that separate east from west. We leave East Berlin after an incredible 4-hour tour, almost back to freedom in West Berlin with a sigh of relief. A memorial to those killed after the near assassination of Hitler are Colonel von Stauffenberg. Our West Berlin hostel, gals on the left, guys on the right. Berlin Government Courtyard. A top view of the Brandenburg Gate. War desolation area, entire block still left vacant as a reminder. The Berlin Opera House called the Pregnant Oyster, and another war monument. A death memorial to those put to death here. A bombed-out church in the center of modern Berlin. Our Berlin tour guide as we leave for our stay in the historical Nuremberg Castle, and the massed band concert at Vienna City Hall in the rain. All the band majorettes. And 50 bands from around the world play as one. Bonnie leads the band out to the Vienna streets. The Austrian Autobahn to Innsbruck was a side trip taken by 4 of our chaperones. The Austrian countryside outside our train. After sleeping in the Innsbruck police station, we awoke to the spectacular view of the Austrian Alps. Innsbruck was the scene for the 1964 Olympics. The ski jump, absent of any snow, and a view from atop the ski jump looking down on the Alpine city. Breakfast next morning at our hostel comprised of hard rolls again. The Innsbruck Arch. A Vienna church at night. The rear of the church shows off its 300-year-old architecture. Typical Vienna traffic. And the Vienna nightlife. Shopping downtown proved very popular. We saw churches at the end of many streets and one of the many fountains. Bonnie and her mom Marie. St. Stephen's Cathedral, built in 1137. It survived World War II except for the roof. The steeple's 136 feet high. Anton Pilgram was the builder and architect of St. Stephen's. The interior of the church showing the organ, pulpits, and congregation area. A close-up of one of the many pulpits. Madonna. A picture taken from the organ. Rathaus. The town hall. The old Imperial Theater. The famous song and lyrics, "Three relatives in a fountain," came from this very spot. Here we find Tom relaxing after another tough day of shopping and taking pictures for band members. Lorraine, Terry, Barbara, and Bonnie before a parade. Up close and personal with photographer, historian Tommy Tourist. Final parade of bands, the Czechoslovakian band moves into position. Watch your step, Dr. Ravelli. Dr. Ravelli salutes the 50 band's efforts. The Hillsborough band marching out. And waiting our turn. The exact moment that Bonnie told Reese that she was 5 months pregnant. At ease. The Schönbrunn Palace gates in Vienna. Schönbrunn at twilight. The Vienna Zoo provided the trumpet section. Note the baby buggies and ladies' dresses common to Europeans. The Vienna Parliament building. Karl plotting strategy with his brain trust. Our Viennese guide before the parade to the Prater. The concert house balcony, where we sat with pride and crossed fingers. Wednesday, July 12, 4 o'clock p.m., our goal. The international band competition performed on the same stage that Mozart and Beethoven played. Along the parade route to Prater Amusement Park. Our last march. Bonnie strutting her stuff. Precision with pride was one way to describe our band. Mom, will that stick ever come down? Almost there, Abby. We finally arrive at the plotter, where we see the largest Ferris wheel in the world. The Opera House in Vienna. Salzburg, Austria, and the romantic Danube River. The famous Salzburg Castle. The castle grounds where scenes from The Sound of Music were filmed. A side view of the castle. View of the city from the castle and its fortress wall. Richard Iwasaki, our Lord Chamberlain. People watching in London, England. We want to feed the pigeons, but where are they? Reese on guard duty. Downtown London with its House of Parliament, Big Ben, London Bridge, which has not fallen yet, and Winston Churchill's residence. St. Paul's Cathedral, Westminster Abbey, Piccadilly Circus, and Buckingham Palace. We witnessed the changing of the Royal Guard. The palace front gates. Watch those scissors, Jenny. Others getting off the tour bus from the London tour. Lou checks out Bernie and Benny's lederhosen. Going home on Pan Am 747 watching the in-air movie Airport 72 over the polar ice cap. Arriving late in Portland in the early morning hours of July 20th to a large crowd. Happy birthday, Bonnie. Now get me to a hot shower. The Spartans returned victorious after a once-in-a-lifetime experience. The On to Vienna Reunion Committee would like to thank chaperones Charlene and Carl Gutman, Art and Terry Iwasaki, Al and Barbara Deck, and a special thank you to the Hill High Spartan Marching Band, Hillsborough community, and the generous donor that made the trip a reality. To most of the traveling entourage, this trip was the greatest adventure that they have ever experienced back in 1972, and to many, the 20-year reunion was the next most memorable experience in their lives. Until our next get-together, we bid a fond Auf Wiedersehen to all. Thanks, Carl. And thanks to Lorraine Poinkowski and Brenda Holman. And yours truly, Tom and Bonnie Rolfs. already a large turnout here at the Meadows. July 4th, 1992.
Without being political, the only thing I could think of was we were in a time of finding our own independence way back then. So in 1972, President Nixon went to China. ERA passed the U.S. Senate, not the House. Vietnam War was winding down. Watergate was winding up. And we were all fundraising like crazy, right? Right. I thought Rob's paraphernalia here was a pretty good reminder of all the different things. There were things that I really didn't remember until I looked at this. Chopping wood, candy sales, button sales, the auction. I remember ironing for Berta Baker, Debbie's mom. I'm not going to go through the survey that I sent out to you in detail. There are copies of it. But just to generalize a little bit about it, what I gathered from it, and I'm not a statistician by any means, but it seemed like we came through with a really positive group of people, happy people with lots of job satisfaction, above average in terms of stability in life, marriage, jobs, and above average weight. Yeah, the average is like 5 for women and 8 for men, and we're like up there in the teens. The biggest thing I think that we all gave to this band experience, and many of us have talked about this, is self-discipline, self-respect, an ability to just...
Tells me this I know, 'cause the bandman tells me so. Music stands to him belong. They are weak, but he is strong. Yes, Carl loves me. Yes, Carl loves me. Yes, Carl loves me, 'cause the bandman tells me so. Carl loves me, this I know, 'cause the tubas are so low. When the drummers hit their gong, Carl lifts them in the gong. Yes, Carl loves me. Yes, Carl loves me. Yes, Carl loves me, 'cause the bandman tells me so. Carl loves me, this I know, even Alan told me so. When the horns begin to play, the rest of us begin to pray. Yes, Carl loves me. Yes, Carl loves me. Yes, Carl loves me, 'cause the bandman tells me so. Carl loves the baritones. When they play, you hear him moan. Bobby Boy is number one. That's because he's Carl's son. Yes, Carl loves me. Yes, Carl loves me. Yes, Carl loves me, 'cause the bandman tells me so. Carl loves me, this I know. If he doesn't, out you go. If you don't know what I mean, join the band and you will scream. Yes, Carl loves me. Yes, Carl loves me. Yes, Carl loves me, 'cause the bandman tells me so.
So thanks for all of you making the effort to get here and get your horns out and all of that. I hope it was worth it to you too, and I think it was. You seem to be really enjoying it.
What about the Vikings?
This group comes out.
And Alvo. Yeah, really.
It's a real band. Yeah. Late. Hurry up. Hurry up and wait. Wait. Hurry up, wait.
I want to know where you all were in Berlin at 2 a.m.
Yeah, I do.